So Companion asked me to speak on library advocacy for all, which I assumed, of course, would go through the lens of how Alexandria would help us advocate for our libraries. To start with, my name is Angie Hale, and I am the library software specialist for Alpine School District in Utah. And I've been using Alexandria with Alpine School District and in previous employment also for probably 25, 26 years or so. And so first, though, let me tell you a little bit about our district. It's Alpine School District. We are located in Utah and cover a wide range of different cities and areas. We have some schools that are in established communities, established areas. We have others that are brand new cities, brand new areas. We have rural, we have low income, we have mid to high income, high density, huge range of patrons. We have a total of 89 sites currently using Alexandria for library checkout. 61 elementary schools, 14 middle schools, 11 high schools, 2 special purpose schools, which are essentially special needs, and 1 specialty site where we serve the needs of our teachers. In addition, we have a district Chromebook database where we have one-to-one checkouts, and we use Alexandria to manage all of the Chromebooks in our district. We also have multiple secondary schools that use textbook tracker and several elementary schools with a second Alexandria license just to manage their take-home reading libraries. Our district theme for the school year is focus on what matters most. And so when you think of that through a library lens, the question comes up, well, what matters most in our libraries? And of course, the easy answer, our students are what matters most. And this means our priorities in our libraries are our students. It's literacy, it's fostering a love of reading and learning, inclusion, helping our students to feel safe and accepted. It's accessibility to our resources, effective programs, it's teaching research skills and digital citizenship. It's advocating for our students. It's advocating what resources we have to help with student learning. So it's really important, I think, to have a library excuse me. It's really important to have a library software program that allows us to focus our time on what really matters. Our district uses Alexandria because it allows us to focus, to center our attention on what matters most. It gives us the tools we need to meet our goals and to prioritize our students over the little details or the processes. And this is a very good way that we can advocate for our libraries. So Companion asked me to focus my presentation on library advocacy for all. And to be honest, at first, that was a little bit difficult. I never really thought of library advocacy through the lens of our library software program through Alexandria. And so it's just kind of, I had to think about this a little bit. And of course, I came up with a few basic things. You know, we advocate for our libraries with our administration by being able to provide statistics that will back up budget requests. We advocate our libraries with our teachers by providing resources and lessons and reinforcing what they're teaching their students. We advocate with our students by providing a diverse collection, a safe place for them to be able to have the ability to search for the items that they need and to have those resources at their fingertips. So one of the things, as I was thinking about this, I did find on Companion's website was this phrase: Alexandria is your partner in creating lifelong learners. And that's one of those things, that's what matters most. It's focusing on our students. It's creating those lifelong learners. It's helping to give them the skills that they need, not just while they're going to school, but for their entire life, that they can continue this journey of learning and progressing and success. On the website, it goes on to state, and this is Alexandria is your partner in creating lifelong learners. We advocate your library as the hub and heart of your school and community by consistently improving the experience of our users and patrons. Alexandria empowers you to have a positive impact with your patrons, streamlines your daily tasks, improves the discoverability of your collection, and increases circulation through 4 key solutions, which are equitable access and deliverability, engagement and discoverability, partnership and integrations, adoption, and success. So I kind of thought about that a little bit and decided that that was the direction I wanted to take in this presentation. I wanted to kind of use our experience where we have so many sites using Alexandria, and we've been using it for so many years to back up that statement, to kind of test and see, is Alexandria really our partner? Do they really help us to create lifelong learners? Is this statement true? And spoiler alert, it is. So to start with here, this first statement, we advocate your library as the hub and heart of your school and community by consistently improving the experience of our users and patrons. So consistently improving the experience of our patrons and users. I do want to say that Companion is always working to improve their software. And one of the things that I love best about that is that they listen to our suggestions. They have multiple different areas on their site where you can email them or just let them know what your ideas are. What's an improvement that you think would make the software a little bit better, would make that experience a little bit better for our patrons. And I often submit suggestions for ideas and improvements. And one of the things that has really impressed me is that someone at Companion often reaches out and asks for more information. They want to really understand why that suggestion is needed, what kind of changes can be made to facilitate our goals and what we need. And they follow up and they listen and they make the changes when it's something that will help their customers, to help us help our libraries. And I think when they listen to our ideas, that's one way that they're partnering with us and advocating for our libraries. Sometimes I like to think that they've made changes just for us. One of our specialty sites is a facility just for teachers to check out resources. We have videos and posters and books and especially different kits that have been custom made to really help teachers with their lessons, and they're very curriculum focused and based. And about 98% of what we do is done through reservations. And we were having some difficulties because the way it was set up, especially with version 7, was a teacher would put in the date that they were interested in that reservation, and it would just say yes or no, it was available. They'd kind of have to guess. So we went and asked Companion to give us a calendar view. And they took the time to visit with us and to listen to what features in the reservation system would work and wouldn't work. And over the course of about 1.5 years, they made significant changes to the reservation system. And they added a calendar view so that a teacher could kind of look at that calendar and be able to plan their lessons, plan their reservations, when those kits would be effective, when things were available. They could plan their lessons around it. And this has helped our facility here immensely. So with this improvement, with this change, Companion and through Alexandria improved the experience of our users and patrons. They empowered our teachers to be able to plan their lessons with the resources that we have available for them. And that was one of the ways we are now able to advocate our library services more fully to our teachers. So to go on, it says, Alexandria empowers you to have a positive impact with your patrons. And with this, there was one small suggestion, one small change that was made that has significantly had a positive impact with our patrons, and that was adding the nickname field. This small change has really helped us, especially with some of our most vulnerable patrons. Our patron data is imported directly from our school SIS system. It contains just the legal name only of our students. And the nickname field, however, has allowed us to put in a preferred name. And this especially has had a positive impact among our transgender students, some of our most vulnerable students, that when we pull up their data, we can do so using their preferred name. The reports and notices appear with that preferred name. In addition, we've also had our librarians report very positive feedback with this with our Polynesian students, so that they've been able to put in that information and call the student by what they prefer. And it's been incredible how much that has helped. And of course, the next one, Alexandria streamlines your daily tasks. This is where Alexandria really fits into our library system a lot with all of its tools and things that are available. Customization is huge. I love the way Alexandria allows us to customize our reports, to schedule notices. We can customize imports and exports, and it allows us to, if there's a report if we can't find a report to find the information we want, we can use those customized exports to be able to pull up that information. It's all at our fingertips, all the data that we would need. In addition to scheduled reports and utilities, Companion has partnered with Clever and GG4L to help us automate patron imports and patron management. And for various reasons that I won't go into, neither partner was a good option for our school district, but we are spending hours updating our patron databases each year, several times a year. And I was able to work with Companion to create a customized scheduled import that does that work for our schools. And I don't think any other vendor would have spent the time troubleshooting our issues and brainstorming alternative solutions. But we were able to come up through our customized imports a solution that worked for us, where our patron imports are automated, that we don't have to export the data and then go through and make edits, customize that data, and then go through the import process and the edits at that point. It's all streamlined, it happens daily. And this has been immensely helpful to our libraries and has saved our librarians a huge amount of time. And it was only possible because of the help that I was able to receive from Companion and the kind of alternate solutions that they do have available through all their customization options. And this has helped us to be able to focus on what matters most. And it's helped us to streamline our daily tasks, that we can spend that time that we need advocating with our teachers and our patrons and our administrators, and really helping our students, which is what matters most. The next part of the statement, Alexandria improves the discoverability of your collection. So when I think about this phrase, of course, the first thing that comes to mind are the Explore panes. And I love the Explore panes that are available through Alexandria. This is just 6 examples of some of the search panes that come up at different sites, different schools when students go into, or teachers go in to use our researchers. And you can see that it allows some customization per site. Said we have very diverse populations, some schools are very different from other schools. And the Explore panes are one of the ways that allows us to really focus on the students in our school and what we feel is necessary. We have some sites that choose just to use the defaults that come in, and they love it and it's extremely successful, and they're able to really teach their students on how to use the researcher and how to use those options and different search capabilities to be able to find the items that they need. We have other sites that choose to create shortcuts and collections to really help put the right book in the hands of the right student. We are able to create links to teacher lists, whether it's favorite books just to promote reading and literature, or if it's a classroom focus, such as a science class that wants kids to read a specific topic and do a report on it. I saw one site recently that had a very kind of common sense solution button that I hadn't thought of before. What is, a student goes on the researcher, looks for a book. If they don't have it, there's a button available right there where they click on it, it links to a Google form, and a student can enter in their suggestion, or a teacher can enter in a suggestion for an item that they want or need. At our site here, where we have a specialized facility for our teachers, we have instructions right there on the researcher on how to place a reservation. So if a teacher is accessing our site for the first time, or maybe the first time in a while, and can't remember all of the steps on how to place a reservation, that information is easily available to them. You can also have a button that just pops up with a little note, such as we have one with our delivery deadline, letting teachers know when their reservation needs to be made in order to receive the item on time. And I've seen librarians also use that with orientations at the beginning of the school year when they are teaching kids. They've done different kinds of scavenger hunts, and one portion of it would be to click on a button on the researcher that it would give them a clue to go on to the next part of the scavenger hunt. We've had it with Battle of the Books teams with information and advertising as far as when the next meeting might be, or suggestions and things that way. We're able to link to different programs, schools that work with Road to Success or other types of things are able to link to those programs, or we can link to Utah's online library and World Book Online and other types of research databases. So just the amount of customization and how things will work for each individual library, the Explore Panes have been a huge asset to really help with the discoverability of our collection, to put the right resource in the hands of the right student at the right time, to partner with teachers to make resources easy to find and databases more accessible. And then this last part, it increases circulation. Alexandria increases circulation through 4 key solutions. So the first one was equitable access and deliverability. So Alexandria can be accessed on any device through any browser without the need to download apps. This has been huge. It was an incredible benefit during the few months we were remote due to COVID. Students could access search from home, were able to place holds on books, which were later able to be distributed to the students safely. We were still able to circulate items from our library. We were still able to provide those links, those resources to help them do their online learning. We can also use this where it's always accessible and it's available on any device to kind of streamline our weekly visits to the library, especially among our elementary students. Some of our schools have almost 1,500 students. They don't have very much time in library. There's large class sizes, unfortunately, and they come to the library and we only have a couple of computers available for the students to be able to search the collection at a time. So one of the solutions with a lot of these schools is the classes will have Chromebooks available in the class. And on each of the Chromebooks, we've been able to bookmark our library researcher. So before the classes come to the library, teachers are able to just give the kids a few minutes to access that bookmark, and they're able to do the searching. So they come to the library prepared, already able to know exactly which items they're interested in. And it's just really streamlined, especially those bigger classes that had less time. Another way this has been very helpful, one of our libraries just went through a major remodel, and his library was pretty much torn down, and he was moved into 2 trailers, about the size, 2 classrooms. So this was a high school, and for 3 years he worked out of 2 trailers, and it did not have enough room for all of his collection. He really had to go down and go through everything, narrow down what he was going to have accessible to the kids. And there wasn't room to have computers set up to search the catalog. And we were instead able to use iPads and have a little stand, and they were a huge asset to him. In fact, they still want to continue using the iPads. It was a very positive experience for the students. Some of our secondary schools have even created QR codes that they post on the walls in their library so that students can just scan that with their phone and have immediate access to the collection on their personal devices. They're browsing the shelves, browsing the stacks. So equitable access and deliverability, having this be available on any browser and any device without having to download apps has been a huge asset to us and has helped us to advocate to the different programs and different resources that we have available. Second one, engagement and discoverability. So on the website, it states, along with access to your library, we ensure that your collection completely captures and engages your students, teachers, and patrons. So first, engagement and discoverability, again, makes me think of our research panes, our Explore panes, excuse me. But in addition, there's a lot of different tools that are available through Alexandria. There's a new one called Bestmark. We haven't really had the opportunity to use it a lot because it's only been out this school year, but it offers the ability to go through it and enhance your records, to clean up the records. And this can be an incredible asset. It allows you to go in and improve your subject headings. You can go in and add Lexile scores to items that are missing that information. We especially are excited to use it in cases where we have a librarian maybe that has retired and done things a certain way for years, and we have a new librarian maybe coming in that wants to update, kind of do things a slightly different way, but we're able to go in and make sure that that library collection is up to date, that they have the best MARC records available, that librarian can spend time on programs and not trying to clean up their collection. We also use Novelist to kind of help promote our collection with our patrons and with our teachers. They can go in when they search for an item and look for other suggestions. And if you like this, you would also like this. We have a lot of libraries that are really interested in the Lexile program. Bulletin boards is a huge opportunity at your site to be able to have your library be a little bit more of a hub for information. You can customize the bulletin boards with school events, library events, clubs, different types of things that way. And then partnerships and integrations. Companion site says, we have partnered with the best-in-class library solution providers who share the same mission of promoting library advocacy while allowing you to build and deliver a true one-size-fits-me library experience. I love that one-size-fits-me library experience phrase there. But Companion through Alexandria has partnered with a lot of other companies that provide library services and different partnerships to make them easier for us to access and to be able to use. So they have on here the activity module, which I'll mention in a minute, different asset management, ebook subscriptions, SIS integrations, and some of the ones that we've used the most in our district. A couple of them are, Alexandria has partnered with several different vendors, such as Permabound or Bound to Stay Bound, where you can go on and if you order items through those vendors, or there's other ones available, your MARC records will automatically, just magically appear in your database. You don't have to go through the process of exporting them from the website and then importing them into the library software. It all happens seamlessly through an integration with those vendors, that those records will appear ready to go before you even really need them. Another thing that we love with this integration is we are huge Overdrive users in our district. And Alexandria has partnered with Overdrive to be able to make it much easier for our students to access those collections. A student can search the items in your library search database, and it'll show them immediately the items that are also available on Overdrive. And what's great is someone can click on this check status button and it will tell them if that item is actually available for checkout on Overdrive or not. In addition, there's a link that will take them right to the Overdrive website where that student can access it. So it just really improves that user experience, where if they're looking for a title and you don't have it in your library, they can tell immediately if it's available through another resource. And that's been really, really helpful and really, really huge. In addition, there's a new kind of add-on that is Activity Tracker. This was extremely helpful with COVID when we had to do contact tracing. It's nearly touch-free kind of thing, but we were able to set it up where you can customize the options for students, and they can come in, and they sign in, they can say why they're in the library. It will tell them if they have any books ready for pickup. In addition, like one of our libraries that does this, she especially loves it because there are reports that are available that show who has signed in and at what time. So she can actually run that and see who's in her library, what that purpose is, maybe who needs help. And most especially, she sees their name. So she's already has their name in mind and can call them by name. And it's really been a huge asset to her to improve that patron librarian experience and to build that trust and that relationship that she can more effectively help her students with whatever their needs might be. And the last of those 4 points, adoption and success. And they do this through implementation and support. Alexandria provides free access to their online support center and their exclusive 24/7, 365 days a year live support. And it's available to anyone within the district using Alexandria. And this is huge. We know that if we have an issue, if we have a question, we can call and someone is there and always available to take our call, to be able to help us with what we need. I believe I heard once that we even had a librarian check to see if someone would answer the phone on Christmas Day, and they did, which was just really, really impressive. Companion's customer support is top-notch. They have the 24-hour tech support through the phones. You can also email them. Their sales department has gone out of the way to help us with what we need. There's multiple different resources for that tech support besides just even phone and email. There are online pages. And then sales, also, I just want to do a shout out to them. We have a new administrator here for our district department who really wanted to change how our invoicing was done. We had some things that were invoiced in September and other things that weren't invoiced until January through some of the different add-ons and just the format in the invoices. And she put out some different requests to the sales team, and they actually created our renewal invoices over and over and over again until it was in the format that our administrator was happy with. And this was a huge way that Alexandria has partnered with us to advocate with our administrators that information that they needed was provided in the format that they were most comfortable with, that gave them the information in the way that they wanted. And that was just an incredible help to our district and to advocating for our libraries with our administrators. So overall, just the support at Companion has been absolutely phenomenal. When we needed to use Alexandria for our Chromebook checkout, I got help from the tech support at Companion to be able to utilize Alexandria in a way that it wasn't really designed for, but that would work for our needs. And they went out of their way to help us and make it so that it's just been a hugely successful project. And our district technology team has been very impressed and have become huge fans of Alexandria. So we were able to advocate even more outside of just even with administrators, but with other other departments within our district. So again, when I was first asked about talking about how Alexandria can help us advocate for our libraries, I kind of came up with my own list here a little bit. And I've talked more about what Companion has on their website, but I just wanted to bring up my list again and kind of reiterate a little bit about how they really do partner with us. They work with us and help us. So using Alexandria, it allows us to focus our attention on what matters most. We can streamline our tasks. Our data is easily accessible. Alexandria is easy to use for our librarians that are not trained in cataloging, and it's also functional and easy to use for our librarians that are expert catalogers. It'll work for any level of any level that our librarian might be at coming in, where they can focus on their programs and not have to spend a lot of time trying to learn the systems and learn the process. Alexandria facilitates the ability of our teachers and students to have easy access to the resources that they need through research panes, through just the searchability of the database, through being able to bookmark different things, to be able to create lists on the researcher, links to different databases. Our teachers and students do have easy access to the resources they need through Alexandria. Alexandria gives us the tools we need to help our patrons and to advocate with our administration. We're able to send out notices, to schedule different things. We're able to easily provide statistics. Even the activity tracker, one of the things I didn't mention on that is you can provide those statistics to your administration to show how the library is used outside of just checking books out. You can show how it's used for book clubs or different meetings, and those statistics can be huge in advocating for your library and for the additional resources that you have available to your students, to your patrons. And then Alexandria allows us to more easily work with other library solution partners through all of the different add-ons and partnerships. And there's just so many different ways that Alexandria makes working with other library partners easier. So again, here in conclusion, library advocacy for all. We have Alexandria helps us to advocate our libraries with our administrators, with our patrons, with our teachers. Alexandria is our partner in creating lifelong learners. They advocate for our library as the hub and heart of our school and community by consistently improving the experience of our users and patrons. Alexandria empowers us to have a positive impact with our patrons, streamlines our daily tasks, improves the discoverability of our collection, and increases circulation through those 4 key solutions. So I just want to kind of do a shout out to Companion and thank them for all of the time and extra effort that they have put into really helping us to help our patrons, to advocate for our libraries. Companion has gone out of their way multiple times and has truly been our partners in helping our students with student learning. And that's pretty much it.